Intake is a must on every single car. Now the horsepower gains, we'll just let the elements decide that, because I think everyone's heads need to be at the spot of throttle response being increased and a little bit deeper of a tone or different tone of exhaust note, because it's getting more air from the front and the exhaust is affected the whole way through. Intakes are awesome. We love upgrading them to cold air intakes, but sometimes they are making things worse and you end up getting hotter temperatures from the air because you're having a filter exposed, blah, blah, blah. There's so many different options and things like that, but a lot of people call them hot air intakes, especially mechanics and stuff, because people think that it's doing good, but it's really not. So you gotta be kind of aware of what's going on. Sometimes having a box is better than not. For this car specifically, everyone upgrades their stock air filter, not the intake, just the filter, because the stock turbo really doesn't pull enough through the filter to worry about upgrading bigger piping or anything like that. Now, when you go big turbo, you're definitely gonna want a bigger intake and such. But with this application, everyone uses a green high performance air filter. Now, green is the actual brand and the color of it. So it's not just because of the color, it's because it's a brand as well. So when you search green high performance air filter on Amazon, you will find it, but I have a solution that's better than that. I went to my O'Reilly's down the street. I figured out that it's the K&N filter 2993, and you can pick it up today, probably at your O'Reilly's. Call around, see if they don't have it at the first O'Reilly's you call, ask if they have it at anyone's near, like I did. My boys down the street at O'Reilly's, they didn't have it, so I went across the freeway and that O'Reilly's did. So if they don't have it, make sure you ask for that, and you can go pick up this intake filter today and do it just like we're gonna do on this video. Everyone runs the green one though. Why would you run the K&N one? Well, obviously it's not gonna be that much difference. They're just better flowing filters. So don't stress. You want it today, trust me. One of the easier things to do, tools needed, 1/4 inch ratchet extension, 8mm. I did use this baby impact with the adapter for sockets. These things are awesome. I have it in the description, all the tools and stuff I use in the garage. Go check it out. You'll definitely find something that you know you didn't need, or you're already in the need of a bunch of stuff and you need to start working on your car. It's all there, jack stands, tools, wrenches, ratchets, sockets, safety glasses, you name it. I made it all specifically for you, so go check that out if you need something. Let's take a look at the differences. We'll pop it out of the box. Right out of the package, I can see a big difference in between the gap of each one of these pieces of the filter. Much bigger gap, lets more air flow through. This has almost like a mesh grate on it, and this is just like a plain paper. You can see the K&N on here. The fitment is exactly the same. It's drop-in, ready to rock. If you look inside of them, I don't know if you can see, this guy is much more restricting and this guy is just wide open in the middle. Now you do have to clean this more often and it's not that hard, but I'll show you guys that in another video. Other than that, let's test the difference between the sound right now. That's a no-brainer. We're leaving the top half of the intake box off. A lot of people in the forums I was reading were kind of arguing like, oh, it's not safe, you know, blah, blah, blah. It fits in there plenty of tight for my comfort. I had Trevor come and make sure that it didn't move around too much. The only time I foresee it maybe being an issue is if you hit a large bump or a pothole and maybe it like moves it out of place. I don't know, I'm gonna check it like I said every 2 or 3 times I get gas, pop the hood, make sure everything's tight, and then I will update you guys in another video if I think that it's an issue. But I'm gonna run it. I saw a bunch of other people running it online with the top half of the box off, so let's send it and let's hear some turbo noises on the road. It's super important to make sure that you have this seated in there properly. You push it all the way into the intake, and the outside of the filter should be sitting inside the casing on the bottom half of the case, and that way you know it's not going to go anywhere. We close the hood, we don't have to worry about the intake. This is something that, since it doesn't have the lid on it, I'm going to check that everything's tight and it didn't move. Maybe every 2 or 3 times I fill up, just pop the hood real quick. Normally I check the oil, but I'm going to make sure that this filter hasn't moved. Like I said earlier, it's a little bit deeper of a tone coming from the exhaust already, and when we were by that wall, I could really tell, especially in person. If you guys have headphones on, you might have heard that. Oh, I heard a little blow-offy sound like right there. Oh yeah, it sounds a little smoother exhaust notes, definitely getting more air. Boost pressure, AFR is looking good. Octane ratio is money. Charge air temps are looking good. Our coolant temp is good, and our ignition correction, we haven't been driving long enough, but if we get on the gas, we should see positive numbers. We're all good. I am on the stage 1 map, so it's very limited. It's not going to be the fastest thing, but I'm starting the tuning process. I just got my first email from Alan at Edge Autosport, so we'll be getting that video soon, and I'll keep you guys updated on how all that works. So it's not as loud when driving it. It's like, it almost made it seem like we weren't going to need a blow-off valve when the hood's open, but that's not really the case, I can tell. I definitely am going to still try and find a Symposer to put back on this car, otherwise we would be hearing a lot of this in the car. So I think a lot of people delete that, and honestly I'm thinking that you shouldn't. Sure, little 2 pops right there. I do like the change in disconnected. I do like the change in throttle response. It definitely is a little bit peppier. And that exhaust really likes to make a different noise right on like the 4 to 5K range. I can really tell. Downshifting is even smoother. It's so much easier to rev match with a catalyst downpipe, or any downpipe for that matter, but then the intake just made it even a little easier. It just makes the RPMs flow. I was breaking traction the whole time. Looking at our intake, everything's in place. Booyah. Highly, 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 highly recommend this modification. Go to O'Reilly down the street, go grab it. Super simple, anyone can do it. Remember, if you don't have those tools, link in the description to the list I put together for all the tools and garage necessities, it's called, on Amazon. Super big help. I took some time to put that together, so I know you guys will find value on that. Also, karmaspeed.com, I got some new tees. I'm working on some hoodies right now, possibly gonna get them embroidered so it'll be legit. but the originals are on there, the red and the black. There's only a couple red left, and there's a bunch of black, so go grab it. The black one is my favorite, actually. The red is dope, but the black's for sure my favorite. So go check it out, karmaspeed.com, and I'll catch you guys when we do a straight pipe next, if everything goes as planned, when I'm about to start it right now.